What up, everyone? Back for another monthly review. So we've got 6 boxes here, and what month are they from? We don't know. They never say anymore. I'm assuming sometime around December, somewhere around there, maybe a little November, maybe a little January, but either way, they're here, and we got 6 of them. So we're going to review them and talk about what's in them. I apologize for the mess, by the way. I know it's a catastrophe mess in here, but I'm doing a whole remodel of the garage, this space that I have, taking down all kinds of shelves. You'll probably already notice a difference between this wall here. So everything's getting reorganized, doing a whole overhaul to fit more stuff in here. So that's why it's such a mess. But you may not notice it. There's so much going on back here. You may not even notice the difference. But, it should look pretty cool when I'm done. So, in no particular order, first off we got Geek Fuel. Now, I don't really know what this company's going for. I feel like they made the announcement a few months back saying they were only going to do a t-shirt and a pin and one other item, and then they only did that for like 3 months, and then they switched it up again, so who knows what's going on with this company. But this month's box was actually pretty decent. So the first item is one of these little knits figures. Ta-da! And this is the Oogie Boogie one, the glow-in-the-dark one. And I have mixed feelings about these. When I first saw these announced, I thought they were actually knit figures. And if that was the case, I was going to lose my mind because those look amazing. And I know it would be way too expensive to make something like that, but I wish they would consider it because I would love all of these if they were actually knit. But the fact that they're just like vinyl and they're made to look like they're knit, I don't know. It's not really bad. It's not really good either. But either way, this goes for about $35 to $40. So a decent amount. So I think it is catching on because I see these a lot. So I think other people do like them. Then we got a pin from God of War. And this is going for like $10 to $12. Nothing special there. And then the last item we got, they've been putting in every box, is a pack of cards. Non-specific, it's basically cards they package themselves. They take a bunch of random loose cards, like here we got a Bob Ross, and there's one from Star Trek, Indiana Jones, and a movie called Baby. So all stuff mostly from the 80s, and they're just from random wax packs. And I've actually collected a lot of those packs, so I know those series. But in all honesty, it's nice they put it in, nothing wrong with it. It really doesn't get any value. I mean, even the wax packs, even those are pretty cheap, but loose individual cards of series that don't really have anything special about them, it's zero. I'm sorry to say, but there's no value there. But it's still nice. It doesn't hurt to put it in there. So, that being said, that brings our value on the low end of 45 and on the high end of 52. So, actually pretty decent, but I think the saving grace here was the figure. Without that, there's pretty much no value. So if they can do more like that, I think this box might be okay. If they could put one more item in there, that would be great, but I don't expect them to. Or even if they did this plus the t-shirt, that'd actually be a pretty great box. They wouldn't be able to do it at that $24 price point that I'd probably charge a little bit more, but that might be worth it. T-shirts are so cheap and easy to make, I feel like they could throw one in and really not have to raise the price. It's still at around $25, that's the price point, so that's decent value. You're getting almost double your value. You got a nice figure, a nice pin, and some cards. So I'm actually going to give it like a 6 out of 10. So not too bad, not too great, but not too bad either. Good value, but honestly, it only had 2 items. They could have put more in there. And the cards are cool, but, not that great. And since it's such a low value, it shouldn't be that difficult for them to get double the value. But, still overall a good box, and I enjoyed it. So there we go. Geek Fuel. Next. Marvel Collector Core. And this was the TV box? Is that what this was? Yeah, TV show box. Alright, first off, got a shirt. There we go. There's our shirt from Rogers the Musical. And this is going to get the standard $12 to $15 value, as all shirts do. But as far as the score on the shirt, I'm going to give it like a 7.5 out of 10, because the quality on these is actually pretty good. Funko makes, for the most part, really nice quality shirts. It's actually very soft, very good quality, and I kind of like this whole monotone theme they got going on. So it doesn't look too much like a Funko shirt, which is why my one main complaint about this box, that the shirts are always just covered with pop figures, and it's like, I wish they would just do more artistic stuff. So this kind of leans a little bit towards that, but they still got a long way to go. So 7.5 out of 10 on that. Then we got our two pops here. I'll just hold them up. So we got Kevin and Moon Knight, a maskless Moon Knight. One thing that's kind of funny about this Moon Knight one is it not only has a sticker that says Marvel Collector Corps exclusive, it also says Amazon exclusive, which is weird. Yes, this box is exclusive to Amazon, so everything in there is technically Amazon exclusive, but it's weird that they put two stickers. I've never once seen that before. It's not a bad thing. It honestly kind of makes it a little bit interesting. It makes it just a little more unique and gives it a little more value, in my opinion. It's just something I noticed. So let's talk about Kevin first. You know, a lot of people hated on the She-Hulk show, and I actually liked it. That was one of the few shows I did like because it was just funny and goofy. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. It was just kind of a silly show, kind of like Deadpool. So a lot of similarities between the two, except She-Hulk did all that stuff first, so she kind of deserves more credit for it. But I genuinely enjoyed the show, and I thought that whole scene with Kevin was very funny. I thought that was hilarious, so I was pretty psyched to get this. But value-wise, not a lot. It's only going for like $12 to $15. For those reasons, people didn't really like the show, people didn't really get it, or they didn't think it was funny, or whatever. They just didn't like it. No big deal, but not a lot of value. Now, on to our Moon Knight. This one has pretty significant value. This is going for $40 to $45, which is a lot. Way more than we usually see value-wise out of this box, except for on a very rare occasion. Now, is it because it has two stickers? Like, maybe. Because I've really never seen many other pops like that have two like big name stickers like that. Also, Moon Knight was a popular show. It was one of the more popular shows out there. I thought it was good. Thought they did a good job. And they have the main character here, which is, you know, that's something notable. So I think a little bit of all of those reasons is why it got a little higher on the value. And then lastly, we got our pin and sticker. I always group them together because the sticker pretty much has no value. And most people sell them together anyway. But the pair of those is going for like $12 to $15. So that brings our value on the low end of $76 and on the high end of $90. Very good. This is still a $30 box. This is one of the only boxes that I've gotten that's never changed the price, which is a big deal these days because since COVID, prices have just been skyrocketing. So it's a pretty big deal they've never changed the price. So on the low end, more than double your value. More than. On the high end, pretty much triple your value. Unique stuff, very collectible, very sellable. The shirt was good quality. My only major complaints is like the pin always should have a backing and they never do. The sticker, like, who cares? Whatever. So honestly, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I think they did a really good job, and that's rare for them. They usually don't do a great job. It's usually just okay. Then next month's theme is Spider-Man Blue. They have a little card here explaining that, and I don't know what that is. What's Spider-Man Blue? So I'm kind of curious to see what that is. Is that a new show coming out? Am I just like totally out of the loop and I don't know? I've never heard of Spider-Man Blue. I may just be ignorant. It may be something that I just am being stupid about, but I'm interested. Spider-Man's a really popular character, so it should have some good value. So I'm intrigued to see what comes of that. So that was Marvel Collector Corps. Next, we got Zobie. You wouldn't know it by looking at the box, but it is. They've stopped using their labeled boxes for some reason, like the red boxes they always sent out. They've stopped doing that, and I don't know why. But here it is, brown sugar. Autograph, Terry Crews. I was pretty psyched to see this. I'm a big Terry Crews fan. I know him from Everybody Hates Chris, but he's done a lot of stuff with like Adam Sandler. He's been in a lot of his movies. He's also in like White Chicks. He's been in a ton of movies, like comedies that I've really liked. So I genuinely like this actor, and I think that was a really, not super famous, but like better than a lot of the autographs we've seen recently. So that's great. This, price-wise, is kind of all over the place. So I always try to not just find autographs. I have to find ones that are like certified. This is always certified by, I think, Beckett. No, JSA. So I always have to find ones that are certified because, you know, there's so many fakes out there. And on the low end, if you want to wait for an auction, it's like $30. But if you wanted to buy it now, it's more like $50. But again, they aren't selling for that. So it's kind of hard to say exactly. But that's pretty high up there. Usually the autographs, a good one is like $30 to $40. So that's more like it. But the range is $30 to $50 because technically if you wanted to buy it now, you'd have to pay $50. So somewhere in there, kind of a big range. But, you know, it is what it is. Next, we got a card. Sylvester Stallone And that's just super random. I think they're trying to make collectible cards, maybe like the Bam Box did, but that's just really weird. If nothing else, the case they put it in is really nice. So if you hate the card, you can at least use the case. But and correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the Italian Stallion, wasn't that a porn that he did? Because he did one pornographic film, and I'm pretty sure it was called the Italian Stallion. I might be wrong on that, but that might be a reference to it. I don't know. Either way, hard to find value on this because it's just not selling. There are people that are asking $25 for it, and I think there might have been like one sale, so that's all I have to go off of. Do I think it's worth $25? Absolutely not. But if you wanted to buy it, that's technically what you'd have to pay. So I'm putting a value of $25. Just keep in mind that not selling for that. All right, then we got a pair of socks, which took me a minute to figure out what it was. When I first looked at it, it looked like the guy from Power Rangers. I don't remember his name, but that's who I thought it was, his head. But it's not. It's the DeLorean from Back to the Future. It just looks really weird. So socks, same thing here. People are asking like $18 for it, which is just ridiculous. So I'm going to give this like a $7 to $8 value just because I know that's what socks usually go for. So $7 to $8, but technically, if you wanted to buy these, you'd have to pay $18. But that's just crazy. Nobody wants to buy that. Then we got a keychain to go with it. Same thing. People are asking like $17+ for this stupid keychain. It's like, no fucking way. Like, no one's ever going to pay that. I don't know where people get these values and think that people are going to pay that. That's crazy. I'm going to give it a generous value of like $5 to $6. That's what I'm going off of. Then we got a pin. I think I got the rarer one, but they're from Spider-Man Far From Home, which is also super random. Like, that's it's not an old movie, but there's been a movie since then. Like, why would they go back a film? That's just an odd choice to me. But, whatever. And with this one, same thing. People are asking crazy prices online, but I'm going to give it the $12 to $15 value, which almost every pin from this box has ever gotten since the dawn of time. So you can ask your $35 online all you want. No one's going to buy that. $12 to $15. That brings our value on the low end of $79, on the high end of $104. So definitely probably closer to that lower end, but still good stuff. I know the values that people are asking were crazy, but the realistic value is decent. Decent value, and I like this stuff. I love the autograph. This card is cool looking, like it's a cool display item. I would not pay $25 for it, but I'm happy to have it. It's still cool to put on display. Socks are fine. I can always use socks. Keychain's fine. Pin was good. So overall, I'm pleased, and we got decent value. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, mostly because of the signature. That's what made it really special for me. I'm really psyched to have Terry Crews' autograph. So that really made the box for me, and everything else was just, it was good. It was there, but gave it decent value. So 7.5 out of 10 on that. Zobie. All right, next, the Bam Box. I don't think this is the last one, but it's like the second to last one, which means this might be November's, might be. But it's so hard to tell these days, especially because they don't put a fucking description card in there. They've just stopped doing that altogether, and it's super annoying. Alrighty, so let's see what we got here. This thing will stay open, fuck. Stay. So we got an autograph. Tim Blaney. He was Johnny Five in Short Circuit. Which, fun fact, he was also Frank the Dog from Men in Black. Which is always a bummer when you get a autograph of someone and it's the character you don't really like as much. Like, nothing against this movie, but also I'm pretty sure this is from the second movie, which wasn't good at all. So if it was from the first movie, maybe. But I would have much rather have had like a Men in Black Frank the Dog picture. So it's a bummer when you don't get the character you want. But it seems like everyone got the Johnny Five one, but no one got Frank the Dog, which is weird. I don't know why they do that. Value-wise, $30 to $40. Pretty standard. It's just kind of a regular value, 30 to 40. Then we got another Ken Hazer art print. This is the second one, and then the last box does have the third one. It's a 3-piece set, so art's not super great. Nothing really special about it, but it's cool to have connecting pieces. So I'm kind of excited for that, to have them like next to each other. I don't know if I'll keep them or not because the artwork's just okay. Nothing super special about it. I'm going to give it a $6 to $10 value. People are listing it for $10. It's not selling. They almost never do. Nobody wants these prints, so Not selling for 10, but I'd give it a 6 to 10. I think that's fair. Then we got a pin. Now, I could not figure out what this was for the life of me. This is a pin from, this is of the Darkhold. This is from WandaVision. It took me so long to figure out what this was. I had to look it up, because even now that I know what it is from the Darkhold, like, it's still, like, I can just barely tell what it is. It's very hard to tell. They really got to label these things a little better. But it's of the Darkhold from WandaVision. So, 12 to 15 bucks on that. Then we got a coaster. This was from Loki, Variance Authority one. And it's nice. It's a rubber one. So that works. I use coasters all the time. People are asking $10 for it online. It's not selling for that. But, you know, to be fair, I'll give it a $10 value. So value-wise, on the low end, 58. On the high end, 75. So, okay on the value, more than you paid for, but not much, honestly. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I like the autograph. I wish it was Frank, but it's not. No big deal. The art prints, it's cool to have them in a series. Pin's fine. They always do a good job on the pins. And the coaster is very useful. Fan box, 6.5. Then we got Loot Crate in our nondescript black box, looking like a bomb, as always. Alright, first off we got a standee. I'll be showing it out of the box in the picture. Decent on the quality. They've done a lot of these where they've done like the 3D comic or the standee or something like that. They're decent. Nothing to go crazy about, but good enough. I would expect more from NECA, but I just imagine they can't put that much money into this box, so that's why the quality is not that great. And these people are asking $10 to $12 for this, and it's not even selling for that. So that kind of shows how well they're doing, like the quality-wise. It's just like, it's okay, but no one's going to go out of their way to buy it. But to be fair, if you wanted to buy it, you'd have to pay that price, so $10 to $12 value. Then we got a little Batman blind bag figure. Now these figures are actually quite fantastic. I think these are great. I actually got the whole run of them. There was 4 series, and they actually also came in big cardboard display boxes if you didn't want to do the blind bags. Got all 4 series. Absolutely love them. I think they're really fantastic. And I remember when they were in stores. It was a pretty long time ago. I don't know if there's a date on here anywhere. But that was like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago. Decent amount of time ago. So super random they're showing up now. And I'm actually going to keep mine sealed. So I'm not opening the figure because I don't have a sealed one. So I'm just going to keep this one sealed. So you won't know which one I got, but they're all pretty similar. It's a really cool series. If you like these figures, I recommend go checking them out and getting the display boxes that has a full series run. Very cool. Very much like them. $5 to $10 value on that as a sealed product. Then we got a keychain of Wonder Woman, a spinning keychain. We get these a lot. They're not very popular, though. People are asking 7 to 10. It's not selling for that, but to be fair, I got to give it some value, so going with 7 to 10. Then we got our socks. Same thing, kind of from Batman, I guess you could say. They got all the symbols from like the classic TV show. Same thing there. People are asking 7 to 8. Not selling for that, but, you know, close enough. So, value-wise, on the low end, 29. On the high end, 40. Keep in mind, they've been slowly raising the price of this box over the past few years. It started out as like a $16 box. It is now a $40 box. But ironically enough, they've never really increased the quality. If anything, the quality's gone down while the price has gone up. On the low end, not even getting what you paid for. On the high end, just getting what you paid for. And I absolutely would not value it at the high end. As you know from what I said here, nothing except that Batman sealed figure was selling at these prices. None of them. And these are low prices too. And this is just like sad. So I've been saying for a long time, I don't know how long this box is going to hang on because they just have not been doing a good job, have not been putting quality on it. The quality is going down, the value is going down, we're getting less and less items. So I don't know what else to say. As a score, I'm giving this a 3 out of 10. Which is like the lowest score I've given all year, I think. That's just really bad. When I first started, that used to be a regular thing. Like sometimes boxes would give you less than you paid for, but they kind of did away with all those, and these major companies stayed around. So you really don't run into that anymore. You at the very least get what you paid for, and honestly, usually like 50% more. But to get less than you paid for, it's just inexcusable. It's really sad to see, and Yeah, 3 out of 10. Sorry, Loot Crate, you officially suck. Hopefully they'll pick it up in the months coming, but who knows? They're all over the place. And they stopped putting a description card in there a long time ago. They used to have a QR code that you would scan and it would show you what's in the box, and that takes you to their website. Sometimes they'll put it in there still, but they haven't updated it since like March. There have been like over 6 months of boxes that they just never put on there, and I think it's because people are getting different stuff. I think they're just clearing out warehouses at a certain point because there's no consistency whatsoever. And why put in a description card saying, see what's in the box if you haven't updated the website? Like, what's the point? I don't get it. So many questions, 0 answers. Loot Crate, you're fucking weird. Alright, our last one. Pusheen. This is our winter box. So, I think it's safe to say this was from December, because it's definitely Christmas themed. So, let's take a look. So, we got a sweater. Nice. Print all over. I have expressed my feelings about the sweaters things. I wear a certain size shirt. I wear a different size sweater. I wish you could differentiate between the two because I can't wear this. It's too small and the size I have for shirts. So it doesn't really matter. That goes for a decent value. It goes for like 35 to 40. I couldn't find this exact one a lot, enough to get enough information, but I kind of went by what previous sweaters have sold from this box, so that's the kind of value I got. Then we got a figure. Christmas figure. Pusheen. Very nice. This goes for like 25 to 30. And then we got an infuser, which is rare. I don't think I've ever gotten an infuser in a box. That's kind of why I like this box. They put in different, unique stuff, but still very practical stuff that you can use. So that's pretty great. And you don't always have to use it for tea. People think it can only be for tea. You can use it for whatever, anything you want to infuse with, whatever. This is going for like $15 to $20. Then we got some greeting cards. And these are nice, good cardstock. Not super special, they're just kind of there. And you get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, so decent. And these are going for like 10 to 15 bucks, which is kind of crazy. This is the Pusheen effect that I've always talked about. Any other company that put in greeting cards with a different character, they'd be worthless. Nobody would want them, nobody would buy them. But you put this fucking cat on there, and they sell for 10 to 15 bucks for some greeting cards. It's crazy, but people are doing it. Next, we have a large sticky note pad. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got Pusheen on there. And these are going for like 7 to 8 bucks, but these actually aren't selling. So I guess that's where the line is. I would have been shocked if these sold. Not too shocked, but still. No one's buying sticky pads. They just are not that useful these days, and also not for that premium price. So this is the only thing that's not selling at that value, but 7 to 8 bucks. Then we got some coasters. These are nothing special either. They got Pusheen on there, but they're like the cardboard corkboard ones, which are not very useful because they actually soak up the whatever is on there, like water or whatever, and they lose shape after a while. But still, selling for 8 to 10 bucks. Then last, we got a headband. Looks like Pusheen. It's very soft, but again, nothing super special. That's selling for about 12 to 15. So that brings our value on the low end of 112, on the high end of 138. Still a fantastic box, but not as good as we've seen. This has so far been the worst one we've seen, and it's not bad at all. It's not bad whatsoever, but value-wise, this has been the lowest. Usually we're getting easily double, closer to triple on the value. This one we're getting a little bit less than double, on the high end a little bit more than double. Not a big deal, still great. Still fantastic value, still exactly where you'd want it to be. Still good quality stuff, just not as good as it's been in the past. Because in the past, it's been like perfect 10s all the way through. So this one's going to get a 9 out of 10. Like I said, still great, still worth it, but not as good as the other ones. So there you go. That's all the stuff. Boxes from November, December, and probably some from January. So the January later boxes have started showing up. So once we get enough, I'll do another video like that. And hopefully this room will be finished by then and it'll look much nicer. But who knows? It's a lot of work and I'm doing it single-handedly, so we'll see how well that goes. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If there's anything you'd like to see or talk about or want any advice on anything, I'm all ears, so let me know in the comments. Other than that, thank you for watching and supporting. See you on the next video. Love you all. Peace.